Hi, I'm Sheila, the spiritual geek. Well, I'm not in the trees that inspire this message. I am in the trees. They bring a powerful energy no matter where they are. So here's what happened. Years ago, I tore both meniscus. My right knee had half of it removed with surgery, then the left a few years later. Hiking used to be absolute joy for me, but uneven trails, steep climbs, none of that worked anymore. I just didn't trust my body, and that was the hardest part. So fast forward through a lot of persistence, physical therapy, Goscu pain clinic, energy work, spiritual practice, energy healing, and tiny daily habits. I started working out. A year and a half ago, I started with 1 push-up and 1 squat a day. That was it. And then over time, it's grown, and I do maybe some days 30, 40, 50. In this moment, well, not this moment, a moment last week, I drove out to the California coast to visit the giant sequoia redwoods, those magical trees that feel like our elders. I decided to hike alone for the first time in almost 18 years. No cell signal, hardly anyone on the trail. In the past, that would have been a deal breaker. What if I fall? What about the animals? I allowed fear to keep me from doing something I loved, but also my body wasn't ready. About 2 miles in the trail, I paused and I asked my body, there was a hill in front of me, straight up, and I said, do you really want me to do this hill? Body, are we ready for this? And I got yes. And so I kept going. Somewhere in that quiet, the forest, my higher self had a message for me, and I felt this calm, safe, strong presence. And I heard, you've earned it. And I just stopped and I let that sink in. And I realized I had earned the feeling and the trust and the confidence. I had confidence in my body again to find balance and strength and persistence, that when no one was out there with me and I was all alone, I could just do it gentle. I didn't have to force it. I just listened. I actually went out again on a remote trail the next day, and the campground was closed, so I got to be alone with these giant sequoia trees. Well, minus the yellow jacket sting, which I did handle because I had everything I needed. But it did really hurt. So here's the point. Persistence builds trust. Trust in your body, trust in your choices, trust in your path. It's not dramatic and it's not glamorous. It's just one small yes at a time, especially on the days when your mind is loud, your courage feels small. But those tiny choices stack up until one day you're halfway up a hill, smiling because you realize you're not afraid to hike alone anymore. You're facing your own annoying roadblocks. You can ask yourself, what's the one small step I can take today? Take that step, then take it again tomorrow. Why? Because persistence, just like hard work, persistence pays off, always. Persist, work hard, be in joy, stay strong. If you enjoyed this, I'd love to hear in the comments what's one small step that worked for you, that you've tried. And if you want more stories and practices for living consciously, make sure you're subscribed. Till next time, thank you.